Okay, so first we are going to give chatgpt 03 a try. Now this chatgpt 03 is not the older 03 mini, it is the full alpha version, and I'm going to use it right now to create a complete Flappy Bird style game using only HTML, CSS and JavaScript. I'm going to give the prompt directly to it. No external libraries, no game engines. This is as bare bones as it gets, and that's intentional because real tests should happen under real world limitations. The first part of the prompt is really important because it essentially means the game should run directly in the user's browser. I've also mentioned the controls, like the bird should jump upward when the spacebar is pressed or when the screen is tapped. So users should be able to play both on mobile and desktop. This should be a universally accessible version of the game that works on virtually any modern device. There's no excuse for any part of it to fail if the AI gets the core structure right. Now let's run this prompt in ChatGPT and also do the same in Gemini 2.5 Pro. I'm pasting the prompt right now and hitting run. A new feature in ChatGPT is the preview option. You can just click the edit button and instantly preview or run the code. This is a very handy addition, giving users the ability to quickly troubleshoot or test directly from the interface. But the game, it's not working. The bird won't jump. The game isn't responsive at all. The visuals were generated and the game technically runs, but the interaction, the thing that makes it an actual game, is broken. And this game is actually quite complex for an AI to generate from scratch, but still, ChatGPT failed here. The only functioning element was the restart button. The player cannot control the bird using the spacebar, as specified in the prompt. That's a major letdown for ChatGPT 03. Now let's see what Gemini 2.5 Pro can do. The tricky thing about Gemini and Google AI Studio is that you can't run the code directly within the platform. You need to download the output as an HTML file. So there's a little extra work involved. That's why I specifically said in the prompt that the game must be runnable in the browser. Otherwise, even after downloading the code, you might not be able to use it. But in this case, I downloaded the file, opened it in a browser, and it worked. The bird moves as expected. The pipes animate. The game reacts to input. Now, I'm terrible at this game. I couldn't even get past the first pipe, but there is an issue. The collision detection is way off. The bird can be nowhere near a pipe and still be told game over. That kind of logic flaw might not seem huge, but for gameplay, it's critical. So the collision sector needs some work. Still, compared to ChatGPT 03, where the game was outright broken, this version is miles better. Despite its flaws, Gemini 2.5 Pro wins this round easily. Let's move on to the next test. A complex city, expansion and population growth simulation using only HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. This is a more advanced coding problem. I'm pasting the prompt into both ChatGPT and Gemini and letting them run. This isn't just about pretty visuals, it's about algorithmic thinking. How do you simulate population growth, tie it into power and water infrastructure, and give players meaningful decisions to make? ChatGPT 03 took 30 seconds to a minute to think before outputting the code. That's fine, it's a big task. So this is what ChatGPT generated. The user can build houses, and each house corresponds to a population of 4. There are power and water systems, and those are required to run the houses. Gauges for these utilities are automatically managed. You don't need to increase or decrease them manually. Let's try placing some utilities and industries. We even get simulated blackouts, which is cool. More houses lead to more population. But here's the issue. The power and water supplies also increase automatically as the number of houses increases. That defeats the purpose. I wanted the user to strategically place utilities to maintain housing and population. Without that constraint, the simulation loses its game-like quality. There's no pressure, no consequences, just click and watch things happen. So while this is a decent simulation, it's not a great one. Now let's check out Gemini 2.5 Pro. Gemini generated an insane amount of code. I downloaded it and ran it. Not only does the simulation work well, but it includes demanded supply systems. You need to place water and electricity. And what's even more impressive is that the population builds the houses, not the user. You simply place utilities and industries, and the people build based on availability. There's an actual algorithm guiding this behavior, which makes it feel alive. Let me refresh to demonstrate. The population expands organically using the industrial blocks and utility placements. The user has some control, like deciding where to place industries, but the rest is up to the system. There's even a subtle color difference between completed and in-progress buildings. It's elegant, it's smart, and it's far better than ChatGPT's version. The level of nuance, the responsiveness of the UI, and the dynamic interplay between resources and population. Gemini nailed it. Another win for Gemini 2.5 Pro. Now I'm asking both AIs to create a medieval battle simulation, again using only HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I included all the specs in the prompt: swordsmen, archers, cavalry, units must move forward, engage automatically, etc. No fancy graphics required, just logic, movement, and basic combat behavior. Let's see what ChatGPT-03 built. I click Start, and the battle begins. Units do move forward and engage upon contact. So far, so good, but there's no animation for arrows and no option to control unit quantities. There's also very little visual differentiation between the unit types. Overall, not a great simulation, feels static, and while functional on a very basic level, there's no immersion. Now let's see what Gemini 2.5 Pro produced. I downloaded and ran the simulation. Huge difference. You can easily distinguish between unit types. There's even a basic animation for archers when they fire. And the code structure? Modular. Well commented. Easy to follow. That matters. You still can't control the number of units, but the visuals and execution, much better than ChatGPT's version. It actually feels like a battle. There's some strategy, some chaos. It's alive. Point goes to Gemini 2.5 Pro. Now I'm giving both models a web design challenge. Create a complete responsive website called MoodTune using only HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It must be a single HTML file that works in a browser, no external libraries. This isn't just about functionality. It's about vibe, user experience, and mobile compatibility. You might wonder how I come up with such massive prompts. Just go to ChatGPT, type a rough idea, and let it enhance the concept. That's how I did it. So I paste the prompt into both models. First, Gemini 2.5 Pro's site. The website is beautiful. MoodTune is described as music for every mood. You click a mood icon. These animated AI buttons look fluid, and it redirects you to a YouTube playlist, though you'll need to manually add the video links. Smooth animations, intuitive UI, great job. The transitions are gentle, the layout is clean, and the responsive scaling on mobile, spot on. Now let's check out ChatGPT-03's site. This one's good too. It features background animations and some nice button transitions. It also needs manual YouTube links to function. What stands out are the emojis used for moods. They add a fun and unique character. It feels more playful. Still, I prefer Gemini's version. The interface is cleaner and the animation smoother. It feels like a finished product. Gemini's layout choices were more refined, and the interactive elements had just the right amount of feedback. So again, the point goes to Gemini 2.5 Pro. I'm done trying out the new ChatGPT-03 model, because continuing to test ChatGPT-03 at this point is just going to waste your time. It's honestly been a huge disappointment, especially considering all the hype that was built around it. I don't know if it's just me, or if something really odd is going on, but the performance I'm seeing in real-world coding tasks just doesn't add up. I mean, if you look at the charts and all those leaderboard comparisons, it paints a completely different picture. According to them, ChatGPT-03 and even ChatGPT-04 Mini are crushing Gemini 2.5 Pro like it's outdated tech. But when I actually sit down and test them, real-world conditions, practical programming challenges, proper ChatGPT-03 gets destroyed. Every single time, Gemini 2.5 Pro handles the job better. It's cleaner, more consistent, more functional, and frankly, smarter. It's not just one-off issues either. This is repeatable. Over and over again, Gemini wins. Gemini 2.5 Pro is still the undisputed king for now, and unless something drastically changes, I don't see that crown getting passed anytime soon.